and greetings from Chicagoland. I'm Munira Zahabi, the Niche Navigator, and welcome to Munira's Musings. I'm your host, podcaster, author, coach, and international speaker. Each week, I bring you insightful conversations with extraordinary individuals who share their unique perspectives and stories. Join me on this captivating journey as we explore new ideas and inspirations. Now, let's dive into today's episode with our special guest.
Greetings from Chicagoland. This is Munira, the Niche Navigator, coming to you live with another guest, and a unique guest from New Jersey. We have Otis Collier. Good morning, Otis. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, good morning. Thank you for having me, young lady.
You are welcome. So we are here because we know that there are so many people out there who are always looking for a business idea. And we all know that a business idea begins with a niche. And that niche can be something different or something that just falls into your lap or something that you've experienced. So without further ado, we want to talk to Otis and talk to him about his niche and what he's doing with his. So Otis, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hey, everyone. I'm just Otis here. So I'm a fitness coach. I've been a fitness coach for about a decade and a half now. My niche is rehabilitation. So I call myself like the human engineer. So what I do is kind of discover the underlying issues for most people and kind of build them back up to where they're at and even progress them past that. So how I got into this little niche is kind of interesting. So when I was born, I had like a birth defect. So I had a leg discrepancy, about 4 inches on the right side. So what that means is that one leg was longer than the other, and I was told I would never be able to walk, run, and do any kind of normal kid thing ever without a wheelchair. So we kind of defined that. And I also, at the same time, I was kind of dealing with childhood obesity as well. So by the age of 9 or so, I've had 2 knee surgeries because of the same birth defect. My spine was crooked. I wasn't able to walk straight. I had like a 4-inch heel in my shoe. If you were ever like 9 years old as a kid, and you have like a 4-inch heel in your shoe, you understand the challenge it is with your classmates and how kids may or not approach that. So like I said, dealing with childhood obesity as well. So by the age of 10, I was about 210 pounds. But still active, still love fitness and stuff like that, but didn't take it too serious. I got into high school as a three sports athlete. It was football, basketball, and shot put. But by the age of 17, I had another surgery, a back surgery, a herniation surgery as well. So I started to slow down and ask myself, why am I constantly getting injured? I am not even 18 yet, and I've had 3 surgeries. So I kind of dig into it. I started understanding rehab and understanding movement mechanics and stuff of that nature. So about the age of 21 per se, I really took my fitness serious when my mother passed away on me. She was about 46 years old from heart failure, and she was also obese well. So that kind of really catapulted me into taking it very serious and understand that I cannot take my health for granted. I am not promised tomorrow. So I really started to hone in on my exercise, honing on what I'm doing. And I dropped weight from, my highest weight was 285 to 210. And I did that within 18 months. So a lot of people was asking me, what was I doing? So that kind of got me transitioned into helping others. So I caught a love for it, for interest in it. I love teaching people and helping people. So I decided to go into actually school for it, learn it. I got my master's in exercise physiology. And from there, I've been kind of helping people ever since. So my goal is for people to age gracefully. It's really selfishly, I want to age gracefully. And I decided that, hey, I'm pretty sure other people want to do the same thing. So that's my goal, to age people gracefully and help put their fitness back into their hands.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you. You said that wanting to be fit was something that was something on your mind all the time, and now you're helping other people. So when you say age gracefully, what does that mean to you, and what do you think it means to others?
That's a great question. So what does that mean to me is be able to do what I want to do and not have to think about the consequences of doing it per se, the normal thing. So if I was, I'm thinking as a grandfather, if I'm a grandfather and I want to be able to get on the floor with my grandkids and play with them, I want to be able to have the body to do that. I want to have the joints. I want to be able to have the health. I don't want to have knee replacement surgery. I don't want to be like, you know what, I can't bend. Grandpa can't bend, so let's play this way. I want to be able to play with them the way I want to. If I want to go skydiving when I'm 70, I want to be able to do that. Or something simple as take a walk or reach for the cabinet. Any of these things I consider aging gracefully, as in understanding your body and be able to adjust accordingly to what it's allowing you to do to enjoy your life at the fullest. Now, what other people consider aging gracefully, it does vary from person to person, but overall, all it really means is like putting your health back into your hands, gaining independence to be like, you know what, if I want to climb the stairs, I can go climb the stairs. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to kind of circumduct around it. I have the capability to do it. Yes, it'll be challenging, but I can do it if I want to do it. I'm not forced to do something else. If I want to do it, I can do it. So that's what most people consider age gracefully, in my opinion.
Okay, I like that. So why is, after have you had 3 surgeries?
Mm-hmm.
After that, have you had any other surgery?
No, I have not.
Okay, and now you are in the business of helping other people to get physically fit and age gracefully. Now, I understand this is important to you, but why is this important?
Why is it important to me? Because honestly, we only really get one shot at this thing called life. There is no reset buttons. And I tell you this now, it creeps up on you if you're not conscious about this. Most people take their fitness or their bodies for granted. I usually jokingly say you wouldn't take your house for granted. If you have an electrical issue, you would call an electrician. You just wouldn't hack at it yourself. You would pay attention to it. So this is the most important resource you have in this realm is your human body. And you must take care of it. It's a temple. And what you do now, you will either benefit or take the consequences of it 20 years from now. So this is why it's important to me, because I am trying to showcase how people, as they age, they're not debilitated. They're still able to do the things they want to do, but just have to do it differently. You just have to adjust to what your body is saying. So that is really, really key to me. And also, I just want to live longer than my mom did. Yes, my father's still alive. He's 70. He's doing okay. But I'm trying to live to 120. That's my goal. All right. At 100 years old, I've made the goal of when I'm 100, I want to go skydiving. That's what I want to do. And every day I must prepare myself to be able to do so. And I'm pretty sure there are other people that want to have the same kind of things. They just want to have freedom and they don't want to be bound by we're going to call them medical issues. Okay. We don't want to be bound by medication. We don't want to be bound by a bunch of doctor visits and stuff of that nature. We want to have freedom. And I think the ultimate thing in this life is freedom. And I want to give that back to people as much as I humanly possibly can.
Okay. So you bring a very good point when you say, you spoke about knee replacement and you spoke about skydiving at 100. So let me ask you a question. When you say, listen to your body, how? What is your body telling you? 1, and 2, what can you do so then your body doesn't creak?
Doesn't creak, you said?
Yeah, as you grow older, it starts creaking, right?
Yes, you start knowing that you have knees and shoulders and necks. I get that. How do you listen to your body? Honestly, if you pay attention, you'll know. So most people are so busy in their life, they kind of like press the ignore button. They kind of ignore it. Where every day your body tells you things. So you must wake up. This is my routine. I wake up every single day. I don't turn any kind of electronics on and I just sit and be still, right? I sit and be still and see where is my spirit, where's my energy at? What is my body telling me? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel light? Does it feel tight? Does it feel tense? Is my heart rate up? Stuff like that. So I do that for about 5-10 minutes every single morning. I do that. And then once I get up, I do something called a morning routine where I try to move every single one of my joints intentionally. So I don't just speed through and do quick stretches for 30 seconds. No, I am trying to communicate with my body through stretching. Your body only understands one communication. That's force, that's movement, that's how much force is put through the body. So I'm intentionally putting these gentle forces through my body to tell me, hey, today your wrist is not feeling nice today. You need to put a little bit more effort or more attention to it. Or you know what, your back is feeling pretty good today. You can kind of go free, but just check in once at a time. So it's kind of like dating. Like you're dating your body every single day. You must court it. You must communicate with it. And the communication language for your body is force or some type of movement. I forgot the second question. I kind of ran.
No, that is important. So now you mentioned skydiving at 100, and then you mentioned knee replacements and all that. So we have a lot of larger population who are going through that, and many doctors are recommending that, you need to go get your knee replacement done.
Mhm.
Of course, these are just parts they put in so that but you're not that mobile. You still are limited to certain things. Now,
Mhm.
why is that happening to our population, over older population?
Whew, that is a loaded question. Okay, so so I will let you know my opinion, what's factual. So this is factual right now. Most people are not aware of proper movement mechanics. So what I mean by that, to keep it simple and not get too geeky, joints are supposed to oscillate on one another. They're supposed to move on one another. If one doesn't move, if one part of the joint doesn't move, the other one doesn't. That's called shear force, and it doesn't like that. So most people are compensating. So I'm going to use a different word. Most people are developing new patterns, and they're compensating around these new patterns they have. So let's be more specific in examples to make this more clear. So you have lower back pain, right? You have lower back pain, and you are unable to bend over and touch your toes for whatever reason. Your body's going to develop a new way to get down to the ground. It might not be bending the ideal way, but you're bending in a different way. So because you're bending it away from the norm, you're going to start, your other muscles and your other body parts are going to start compensating around that. And now you have developed a new habit of trying to get to the ground, but at the detriment of your joints in you, okay, at your back or your hip or your knee or ankle or neck or whatever it is. And now you have this pattern where, yes, you are able to get to the ground, but now your neck and your shoulder and your hip are paying for it every time you do it. And eventually that wears out on that particular joint, and ta-da, you have a knee replacement, you have a hip replacement, you have a shoulder replacement. And the thing that I feel that we can get better at doing is not substituting body parts for metal. We are not cars. We are human living organisms. So we cannot just substitute it into there and think everything is going to be the same. You are not the same. They have cut you open. They have taken something out and putting something foreign in you. So you cannot behave the same. You have to learn how to understand your body, what is it saying, and start to adjust to what your body is telling you to do and what you can and cannot do. So a lot of people are trying to stick into the past of what they used to do. I used to do this when I was 20. You're not 20 anymore. You're 45. Your body's a little different. It's a little different. I'm not saying that you can't do what you want to do, but you have to do it differently. All right. You have to respect the idea that you have to do it differently. Your body's telling you this. Please listen to it and adjust according to what your body is saying. My opinion now, that's all factual. Now, my opinion is most people have not been taught how to move. Most people have not been taught or understand the linkage of breathing as well as human mechanics. So breathing is the central thing. If you know how to breathe appropriately, you will drop tension in your body, and dropping tension in your body will allow your muscles, allow your joints to move freely and articulate the way they were designed to do, and not under low level tension that most people are going through for various reasons. Okay. That's the end of my rant.
No, that's perfect. So, you brought that good point. So, when you talk about body mechanics,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a spring chicken anymore. So, and then I am not, like you said, 20 anymore. So, how is it now that if I'm aware of this, how do I now take care of my body and figure out what is the best way to mechanize my body, because I haven't been taught how human body works. I think at one point in my life, I've seen babies when they sit, when they learn to sit, they have a perfect posture.
Mm-hmm.
And then somewhere along the line, when you get 3 or 4, we slump down, and then that pattern continues. So how do we learn how at this age, all the audience that are listening, how do we learn how to take care of that and now make it so that it's a position where we are not hurting our body, but actually preserving it?
Preserving it. So there are many ways to skin a cat. The easiest way is, like I do now, is have a morning routine and carve time out of the day to appreciate yourself, to be with yourself, to be with your body in quietness. That's very important, because if you are so busy in your head, if you're always thinking, your mind's always racing, you do not have the opportunity to hear what your body's saying. So this sounds a little airy-fairy, but you have to kind of, like a leap of faith, to understand once you sit still with yourself, you are able to hear, am I breathing fast? Am I laboring? When I move my shoulder slowly and intentionally, do it creak here? And if it creaks there, am I allowed to articulate the joint the way it's supposed to? So you must build a morning routine. I have videos on how to do that and so forth. But it's best to really kind of get someone to assess where you at and kind of give you slowly of how to do so and move your joints in an articulate way. If you do this morning routine, it's kind of like a joint hygiene. It's kind of like brushing your teeth every day. You kind of like lubricate the joints, you move the joints, you're moving them in an intentional way. So the easiest way I can say is move intentionally. Don't just aimlessly move. You must move and try to control everything you're doing. Even if you don't really know what you're doing, that's totally fine. If you don't understand the mechanics of the body, just move where your body's allowing you to move, and see, can you get there all the time? All right. If you can get there all the time, every day, that's better than nothing. All right. If you're trying to do past that, then I would strongly suggest get a watchful eye, whoever it is, to kind of assess where you're at and kind of teach you slowly how to integrate this in your life without it being so tedious. All right. So just move intentionally. That's like my simple answer for that.
So I'm going to ask you a question that this past few weeks, we were on a trip and we went on a Jeep on a very rocky terrain. It killed our backs because it was an hour drive up the mountain and down the mountain, and it was fun. But we feel it after the fact. We feel it. Okay, so then somebody said that they'd gone to the chiropractor, and the chiropractor said that they needed adjustments. So I'm going to ask you. You are not a chiropractor, but what are your thoughts about people going to a chiropractor? And I know that medical doctors don't like that. I'm not here to bash any other profession. This is their profession. But I just want to know is if it's not you, can somebody go to a chiropractor and learn the body mechanics?
Okay. One, yes, we love chiropractor. Everyone is good in what they do. Can they go to a chiropractor to learn the body mechanics? I would say that really depends on the chiropractor. Now, there are some that are into teaching others, and there are others that's just kind of like, I'm here to adjust you and go. So I would say have a conversation with the chiropractor or whatever practitioner you decide to go to, and ask questions and see if these questions are basically line up what you're trying to do. So what I usually tell my patients or clients is like, you can go to any profession you want, but if the questions you're asking, they're not trying to make you independent and not need them, I will be very, very cautious of working with them, because the goal of any rehabilitation is for us to, this sounds terrible, for us to get rid of you, for you not to need us. We want to be able to heal you, get you back to baseline, maybe above, and kind of let you go on your way. And you come back if we have to troubleshoot it. If they are trying to get you to stay with them for a certain amount of time without any type of plan, any type of idea of transition you into being independent, I'll be very, very cautious of going with them. So that kind of leads into the other question. If they're trying to make you independent, they will teach you how to do these things on your own. They will give you homework. They will hold you accountable for this homework. They will give you all these things. They will give you videos. They will sit down and answer your questions, or take 5 minutes to teach you this one thing right then and there, and have you repeat it in front of them. These are some of the easy things that you can kind of figure out if the practitioner is really trying to make you independent, or they're just trying to make you another client to buy another car. I mean, that's just realistic on how it works. So that's an easy way to help tease out, hey, this person is for me, or I might need to go to someone else.
Okay. And then the other question is, what are the 3 things that if people haven't connected with you already, should they be doing apart from the morning routine that you just shared with us?
Besides that, I would say learn how to breathe appropriately. It's scary of how many people do not understand or appreciate how to properly breathe. It's our number one survival thing in our body. If we do not breathe appropriately, every other system in our body is influenced. So I would say learn how to breathe and manage gravity. So this sounds very airy-fairy, but if we are unable to do these two things appropriately, everything else is a compensation around that. And after that, I would say the last third one would be graceful. I mean, be kind to yourself and give yourself grace. What I mean by that is most people, they'll try something and they beat themselves up so bad about it of not getting on the first shot and not appreciate the progress and not the destination. Most people are like, I need to get there now. I'm like, maybe you do, but how about you enjoy the idea that you are progressing towards it and learn what your body can do on this journey. Most people are very point A, point B. I am more so, it doesn't matter how soon or not soon I get to point B. I just like the journey, enjoy the journey, appreciate the journey. This is where the independence will come in. This is where the grace will come in, because you will understand yourself much, much better. You're like, all right, I understand that when my back feels great, I'm able to touch the floor. But when it feels like this, I need to do certain things. So I'm able to do what I want to do later on in the day. So it allows you to troubleshoot yourself. So basically enjoy the journey and be graceful to yourself.
And how do people find you, Otis?
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook. You can just type in my name, Otis Collier. You can find me on Instagram at rehab.restore.renew.86. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can just type in my name. I'm on YouTube. It's the same thing, Rehab, Restore, Renew. I'm kind of everywhere. I'm on X. You can type in the same name and you can find me there as well.
All of the social medias.
Pretty much.
Okay, so thank you so much for sharing all these ideas with us, Otis. It's really amazing that what we've learned today. Ladies and gentlemen, be kind to yourself. That's the one thing that I got.
Yes.
One thing is that, and learn how to breathe, because many people don't know how to breathe, and Otis is here to teach you. Now, people say this, just breathe and be calm, but that's not the way to do it. So you need to find an expert. And one of the things that I have learned personally is have a yoga teacher who can help you go through that breathing cycle and help you completely. And I'm sure Otis is agreeing with me, because that helps. Now, there are so many resources out there, but as Otis mentioned that he's on all of the social media, and I'm sure he's sharing all of these tips everywhere. So follow him and then figure out how you can learn how to love your body and understand the mechanics of your body, so then you can be perfect and age gracefully. That's the ultimate goal, because you don't want to age and then be in pain. You want to age and be graceful about it. So ladies and gentlemen, you like what we are sharing with you, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We are everywhere. We are on Instagram. We are on Munira's Musings on YouTube, and wherever you find your podcasts. We will be back with another guest next week, and we're going to talk about a different niche. We're going to learn some more about that niche and how that person is teaching and sharing their gift with the world. And if you are still on the sideline, don't forget to reach out and make an appointment with one of us, because we can change your life. Until then, have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Niche Navigator. We hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as we did. If you found value in today's episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. Your support really helps us keep bringing you amazing content. For more updates and behind-the-scenes glimpses, make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and all our other social platforms. The links are in the description below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and connect with you there. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you next week.